Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. Now ultimately this is one of those ones where it's more of like speculation about what seems to be sort of a piece of news that we in a way maybe should have noticed a while ago, but it's only just come to my attention. Obviously I posted my review for the deluxe edition of the Avatar art book not that long ago. And in it, like, I showed everything off, and what included in that was, of course, the sort of like backing sort of piece of paper you get with it to sort of, show you what you get in the package, of course. And the news relates to this, and I didn't notice this, of course, because in my mind, like, we'd seen this before. I think Rachel Roberts like directly showed this page off on camera. But no one really noticed this kind of interesting thing, and so I think it was Blake in the comments on my review pointed out that, there's 6 books here. The overall big spine image of Raava Vaatu that all the deluxe editions are going to make together. There's 6 books pictured here, and you can see here it says, additional deluxe edition sets coming soon. Complete them all to complete the image of Raava and Vaatu. And then I don't know how well this will actually show up on camera, but you can see there it's clearly 3 per half basically. That there's a split right down the middle, meaning that there is an even number of books, and there is 6 pictured here. But as far as we're aware, there are only 5 art books. There's the one ATLA art book, which is now out. They're going to do deluxe editions of all of the Korra art books, so book 1, 2, 3, and 4. That brings the number up to 5. So what is this mysterious 6th book that is going to actually finish off this image? So unless this is a mistake and they're going to just compress this image together a bit to only cover 5, there is some book that we're not particularly familiar with. And it's not just that like there's an already existing book that's going to get like reprinted. My guess has to be something new. Like, they're not going to reprint any of the comics, because it wouldn't make sense to just be like 5 art books and then 1 comic. They've only just released, say, the short story collection, so it's not going to be something like that in a deluxe form. The only other thing I can think of that they've done that sort of art is the 2 poster collections. But even those I don't think quite work. Like, even if they turned the 2 poster collections into an art book, that's still only like 40 pages or something like that. It's not enough when all of the slipcases are going to be the same size, meaning that they're all going to have to fit a book that's in or around 200 pages. So what's the situation here? What's going on? That's what I'm not too sure about. So my guess is that they're not going to do anything particularly different than an art book. So I doubt it will be story content. The only thing I can really think of is that, are they just going to do another art book that might feature a lot of the pieces of art that has come out since? I'd maybe speculate about like maybe an art book based around the comics that Dark Horse have released so far. That would be quite interesting to cover the whole, Gene Yang, Team Gurihuru era, switching into the Faith Aaron Hicks, Peter Wortman stuff, and then the 2 Korra comics that we've had already, and maybe they can also feature stuff about the first few one-shots and short stories that they've done. That would be quite interesting. It might be a little bit too much of a repeat, since they've obviously already covered a lot of the concept art in the extras, in library editions and so on. So the only other thing I could think of would be that just sort of an art book that features just like sort of the key pieces of art. It's less a concept art thing and is more of, like I said, kind of like a poster collection, but it just features really nicely printed in a hardcover book, like every sort of key piece of art, every like DVD, every Blu-ray cover, every promo piece of art for Avatar and Korra collected here, including the newer stuff that's come out recently. That's the only thing that really springs to mind, because unless this is just some sort of a visual error, which I don't necessarily think it is, there are 6 books, And I didn't notice this. I thought this was a fairly like open and shut thing. We're going to get 5 deluxe editions based off the books that we already have. But now it looks like we're getting a deluxe edition of potentially a book we don't even know about yet. Which I guess does mean that, you know, whenever they announce that last one, it will just have like extra stuff in it. It will be just a generally new book, and because they released the standard edition, it'll just be a new book that also happens to have a deluxe edition as well. Now, obviously, we don't need to worry about it, I think, anytime soon, because obviously the first Korra deluxe edition's not out until like March, I think. At this point, it's been delayed a little bit, and if they're planning to do it roughly every 4 months, obviously we're getting pretty much into 2022 when we'd probably even be hearing about what the 6th book actually is, because that would leave it as, okay, like March, then July for the book 2-1, then like November next year for the book 3-1, March 2022 for the book 4, and I guess that would leave like July 2022 for whatever the last art book here is. Again, it's very difficult to try and figure out what could happen, because it means that there basically will be close to like 2 years between sort of now and that last book coming out, and probably like a year to a year and a half before we potentially even hear about what that book may even be, depending on when they announce it. This might fit into a lot of the stuff that they've said about like teasing announcements, that obviously there's a Korra comic we're waiting to be announced, and some other books, some other projects as well that Dark Horse haven't told us about yet. So we're going to have to really wait and see on that. But it does mean that there is the potential for it to, like I said, sort of be sort of a completely new art book, but who knows what exactly it is. I hope it potentially wouldn't be like an art book for the Netflix live action series, just because Mike and Brian aren't involved anymore. That would seem a really weird fit at this point, unless it's just Mike and Brian's stuff, but I doubt that would be a thing that necessarily happens. I'm not sure though. You know, you could maybe go really heavy into speculation and be like, well, what if in the intervening time we do get another Avatar series announced? What if that last book is the art book for whatever new Avatar animation project may or may not happen? That's probably way too difficult to predict right now, despite the little teases we've had here and there. But yeah, it's weird that just like a little insert on the back of a book has sort of seemingly revealed to us something completely new. But it's very difficult to predict, like I said, because Dark Horse, right now, this is sort of a series of reprint style books, but then one of them is going to have to be something completely new, and I don't really know what to make of that at all. Just because of like what they've chosen to put in the Avatar art book as the extra pages is sort of the sketchbook material, which would kind of imply to me that, okay, it's not going to be sort of just like a book featuring sort of like fan art from the creators. So it would be more official art, but I don't know what to make of that. It's so weird. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on this. What do you think that 6th book as part of the deluxe series is going to be? What do you think that one right here on the end that's going to finish off this image? What is that book going to be if it is in fact 6 books as a series here? Very interesting and mysterious that this is the case now, but let me know what you think. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.